So the year was 1996 and Nintendo just released the N64 and they're about to release a video game that would change gaming as we know it. And that game was Super Mario 64. It redefined not only what a 3D platformer could be, but what a 3D game can be. And it was met with critical acclaim, everyone loving this game and saying there's some magic to this game that would never be touched. And let's jump up to the release of the GameCube, where in 2002, they launched Super Mario Sunshine, and people said that game lacked the magic that Mario 64 had. And then, come 2007, the Wii released a couple years prior, and it was an absolute phenomenon. And then they released Super Mario Galaxy. And it was critically acclaimed as one of the best games of all time, or the best game of all time. And I don't really like it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So guys, it's me, TaquitoMan64, and today we're going to be talking about Super Mario Galaxy. And like what I said in the intro, I'm not really a big fan of this game. I think that the game is good, but I don't think it's the best Mario game, and I will explain my reasons in this video. So yeah, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, because we're going to jump right into Super Mario Galaxy. So the story of Super Mario Galaxy is that Princess Peach invites Mario to the Star Festival, and then after he gets there and he runs around a bit, Bowser kidnaps her, and Mario needs to go save her now. And Mario also meets up with Rosalina and just like collects a bunch of power stars until he's able to fight Bowser again. He fights Bowser, beats him, and then resets the entire galaxy. That's the story of Super Mario Galaxy. It is literally the same exact Mario story they have told a million times with slight changes. I'm gonna be real, Super Mario Galaxy does not have the greatest story in any Mario game. I hear that so much, that Mario Galaxy has a great story, but it doesn't, because it's literally the exact same thing, and I'm tired of acting like it isn't, because it is. It is literally just Princess Peach get kidnapped by Bowser, but this time you're in space.
Daring today, aren't we?
And it is insane. And you might be like, but there is this storybook in the game. Brother, if I have to actively go seek out the extra story, then you're doing something wrong. Even in a game like Sonic Frontiers, I never listen to the Eggman memos because they're optional. I don't consider them a part of the main story because it's optional. The books are optional. You don't have to read it. So that's why I say the story of this game is just not really the best for Mario games, or just any games in general, because it's literally the same thing. I'd argue that Super Mario Sunshine has a better story than Galaxy, but that's just me. If you like this story, then you can like it. But me personally, I'm not really a big fan of this story. And now we're gonna move on to the gameplay. So the gameplay of Super Mario Galaxy is actually pretty good. I really enjoy it. I think Mario Galaxy has some of the best gameplay in any Mario game. It is genuinely fun and infinitely replayable. And I think it is just so fun to play this game. But there are some things that I don't really like. These are just minor nitpicks that I'm just going to say. I don't really like the tutorials for the game, mainly because it feels very slow and it keeps stopping you. I hate when any game does that, stops you in place from having fun. And also randomly, when you collect a certain amount of stars or beat a boss, you're just forced to talk to Rosalina, which is just, to me, not really that fun. Because when I play a Mario game or like any game that's like collectathon, I want to be able to continue to have fun without it stopping me. And that's kind of one of my main criticisms about the gameplay this game, but overall it's pretty good. And I'm mostly more or less talking about the 3D collection version because I like the Wii version, but I also hate the Wii version at the same time because I had so many problems playing that game. Sometimes the spin just would not be detected, and I'm so glad we have button controls, and I'm so glad the Joy-Cons are more responsive than the Wiimotes. It is insane how unresponsive the Wiimote can be at some times. But overall, the gameplay of this game is pretty good. I think it's genuinely a really fun game. And I think the bosses of this game are genuinely pretty good. Like, I think they're some of the best in the entire game, but except for the final boss. The final boss of this game is literally the easiest part of this game. That final level, so fun, actually challenging. But then the final boss is just so easy. He has 3 phases. I don't know the order, but these are the phases where he starts out as Bowser and he just rolls into a shell, but it's a ball and he rolls around and you have to hit him with those green things that you just can hit throughout the game. I don't know their name, but they're like these green things that you can hit and they will like knock something over, where they'll knock you back if you get hit by it. They're just those things. You have to hit him with those, and then you do that a couple of times and he will go into his next phase, and then he turns into a rock. He rolls around as a rock and all you gotta do is hit him, and it's super easy. And then the last phase is just an easier version of the second boss of the game, the second Bowser fight, which is kind of insane. How is the second time you fight Bowser harder than the final time? I just don't understand. But overall, the bosses in this game are pretty good. I say they're a lot better than the ones from Super Mario 64. I love that game, and I love Sunshine, but they just do not have that good bosses. And the levels, like I said, are pretty good, but I feel like there are just 2 levels that I can say are outright boring or just I don't like. It's the desert level. I'm not a big fan of the desert level. I think they're just like kind of dumb. I think that the desert level is just really dumb. And then you have Golden Leaf Galaxy, which is just Honey Hive Galaxy, but this time it's in fall and it's in Canada. And I don't really like it. It's boring. It's just an older level, just repackaged. But pretty much, yeah. And one thing I can actually say is a minor criticism that I have towards the game is that you don't collect 70 stars. The reason why I say it, because there are some fun levels after you beat the game that should have been in the main campaign of 60 stars. They're just genuinely fun, but you only have to collect 60, and so it kind of makes the game a little bit shorter and just way easier. And the one thing I can just say about this game is that it's really easy compared to other Mario games. It's like very easy. It's like the easiest Mario game I've ever played. And yeah, it's pretty just an easy game, but yeah, the gameplay of Super Mario Galaxy is really good, and I think this is the best part of the game.
I forgot to mention, if you get 120 stars you get the play as Luigi, and if you get 120 stars as Luigi you get a picture. Now back to the video.
And yeah, Super Mario Galaxy is really good gameplay. Let's move on to the pros and cons.
I'm talking about meatloaf.
So now let's talk about the pros and cons of Super Mario Galaxy. And we're going to talk about the pros first. Let's change it up. The pros of this game is that it's a really good game. It's really fun. And it's just genuinely pretty good. Another pro is that it controls great, especially the 3D collection version. The Wii version does not control as good, but it still controls decently. It's just that the spin can't really get detected on the Wii version that well. It's kind of miserable in some levels. And another pro is that this game just looks good. Even for the original Wii version, it just looked pretty good for a Mario game. The Wii is just 2 GameCubes strapped together, and it still looks pretty good, even though the console is basically just 2 GameCubes. And yeah, another pro is that it just has good level design. Like, a lot of the levels in this game are good, and they're just really fun. And then another pro is that you can customize your save icon and make it anything. The amount of joy I get to just see Yoshi's big stupid head as my save icon is just pretty fun. So yeah, those are the pros of Super Mario Galaxy. Now the cons are just my personal things. one of my cons for this game is the story, because I don't think it's that good. I still think it's just normal Mario, and they could have done better with it. And another con is that this game's power-ups kind of suck. I forgot to mention in the gameplay that this game has power-ups, but a lot of them are kind of mid, because the fire flower is on a timer, and I think it should have just been infinite. The ice flower is the best power-up in this game, but the problem is it's still on a timer. And then you have B Mario, which B Mario is just the worst flying power-up in any Mario game. And then you have Spring Mario. I hate Spring Mario with every fiber and being in my body. Spring Mario is just horrible, and it shouldn't even be in the game. That should be a con in itself. And another con is Rosalina. And another con I have is unskippable cutscenes, because the unskippable cutscenes are kind of just not fun, especially if you played the game multiple times. I think they should have just made the cutscenes skippable. And then another con for me is going to sound very dumb, but you'll understand why. Something I mentioned in the gameplay, where the game will just stop you in place just to tell you something you already know. And it's literally annoying. I want to just be collecting stars, and the game stops me from doing that. So yeah, those are the pros and cons. This game has a lot of pros and has a lot of cons, just like every game. Nothing is perfect. Now, how many times people try to say it is, it isn't. So the conclusion of this video is that Super Mario Galaxy is still a pretty good game, but if I'm gonna be honest, I think Super Mario Galaxy is kind of mid. I'm not the biggest fan of this game. I just think it's a decent game, but it's not the best. I don't think it's nowhere near being the worst Mario game. That's still 3D Land. That game's just boring. It's just Mario. If you look up Mario in the dictionary, that's the game that'll appear. But hey, if you love this game and you still think it's a masterpiece and it's the greatest game of all time, then that's just you, man. You can have your opinion, as long as you acknowledge that my opinions are the right opinions. But yeah, the moral of the story is that Mario Galaxy isn't the best game ever made. That's still Sonic Adventure 2. But yeah, this was your host, KetoMan64. If you want to see more like this, put in the comments below. And thanks for the support like always. See you all in the next one. Goodbye.